Hello guys and welcome back to another Genshin video. Today I'm going to be doing a Zhongli guide. As you may know, Zhongli is like the best support in the game. He can literally make you unkillable and do so much geo damage that it's actually crazy. I'm going to be showing you guys his best weapons, artifacts, talent level ups, and yeah, let's get right onto the guide. So basically just a quick overview of what Zhongli actually is. Zhongli is a geo staff user that is specialized for shielding and damage. And in order to ascend them, you need the Geo Chunks, Basalt Pillars from the Geo Hypostasis, Core Lapis, and Slime Condensate. Now let's do a quick overview of all of his talents. Zhongli's normal attack is his quick strikes with his spear. Now his elemental skill, Dominus Lapidus. So if you press Zhongli's elemental skill, it will just summon a Geo Pillar. The Geo Pillar actually resonates, it will do Geo damage. The Geo damage is pretty minuscule, but when it actually does hit an opponent, it will generate Geo Particles. So it can be a pretty useful battery ability for your team. Now the best part about Zhongli is his Hold elemental skill. His Hold elemental skill is if the maximum number of pillars on the field hasn't been reached, it will create another stone pillar. And it will create a massive shield based on Zhongli's max HP. It will also deal geo damage, and if there are any nearby opponents with geo element, it will drain a large amount of the element, which can happen to a maximum of 2 targets. And here's a little description about the pillar. It will do AoE geo damage, and when it resonates and on nearby geo constructs, the new geo constructs will also resonate as well. The pillar can also be climbed and used to block attacks. And only one pillar may exist for now. We'll get into that when we look into all constellations. And now his shield actually possesses 150% damage absorption against all element and physical damage. And when you proc off the shield, it will decrease the elemental res and the physical res of all opponents in a small AoE, which cannot be stacked. Here's his scaling for his elemental skill. As you can see, the resonance damage is pretty minuscule, and his shield's base absorption is around 2300, and at level 8, his shield will have extra absorption by 20.5% of max HP. The shield duration also lasts 20 seconds. So yeah, basically this ability is just insane. Decreases res, gives you energy, resonates more geo damage, and gives you a giant shield. This is just an amazing elemental skill. Now his elemental burst. His elemental burst is actually really simple. It would just spawn in a giant meteor doing a crap ton of geo damage, and it petrifies the opponents. And when you petrify opponents, they just cannot move. It's really easy. So at a level 8 talent, the skill damage is actually 770%. And the stun duration is 3.8 seconds. And it has an extremely low energy cost of 40 too, so if you want this from another Geo character, you could be spamming this. Now let's look at his passives. His first passive is when his Jade Shield takes damage, it will fortify the character. Fortified characters have 5% increased shield strength and can stack up to 5 times and last until the Jade Shield is disappeared. So when you get hit with the shield just gets stronger. His next passive talent is Zhongli deals bonus damage based on his max HP. Normal, charge, and plunging attack is increased by 1.39% of max HP. Also, his elemental skills Resonance and Hold damage is increased by 1.9% of max HP. And then his elemental burst is increased by 33% of max HP. So you definitely want to be getting max HP on your Zhongli all the way. And his last passive, which refunds 15% of the ore used when crafting polearm type weapons. Super useful. So yeah, his talents are kinda insane. And for support Zhongli like I'm showing in this video, you definitely want to get the skill and burst up. You don't really want to mess with the normal attacks that much. Now let's take a look at Zhongli's constellations. His first constellation basically allows you to have 2 pillars up on the field at once. So it's just a nice upgrade. His Constellation 2 is really great for co-op, which his elemental burst gives nearby characters a Jade Shield. So this one could be pretty helpful if you're playing with your friends or just randoms. His Constellation 3 increases the level of his elemental skill. And Constellation 4 increases his elemental burst's AoE by 20% and increases the duration of petrification by 2 seconds. So this one's just insane. It makes the elemental burst even more OP than it already is. So if you have this constellation, you are super lucky. But I'm assuming that's not a lot of you. Constellation 5 increases the level of its elemental burst. And Constellation 6, when the Jade Shield takes damage, 40% of the incoming damage is converted to HP for the current character. A single instance of regeneration cannot exceed 8% of that character's max HP. So Constellation 6 just turns him into a healer as well. All in all, Zhongli's constellations are good, but they are definitely not needed. You could have Zero Zhongli like I do, and you would just do amazing, okay? So don't worry about these. Alright, it's artifact time. Let's take a look at what artifact sets are the best for Zhongli. Now, if you want a sub DPS type of Zhongli like I do, then it's probably best that you want 2-piece Noblesse and 2-piece Archaic Petra, which increases its elemental burst damage by 20% and gives him a 15% geo damage bonus, which is pretty nice. You could also want a 2-piece Noblesse and a 2-piece Millilith set for even more increased HP and also elemental burst damage. You could also go for the 4-piece Millilith set as well. Once again, the 2-piece increases his max HP, and the 4-piece of the set is when an elemental skill hits opponents, the attack of all party members is increased by 20%, and the shield strength is increased by 30% for 3 seconds. It can be triggered once every 0.5 seconds, and it can be triggered even when Zhongli is not on the field. So if you want your Zhongli to be an attack booster, this is a really good artifact set for him. Another good set for an attack boosting Zhongli is the 4-piece Noblesse, which increases his elemental burst damage, and the 4-piece is after using an elemental burst, it increases the attack of all your party members by 20% for 12 seconds. So this is also a really good damage boosting artifact set for Zhongli. Also for support Zhongli, you want all your artifacts to have HP percent on them. So all those HP percent artifacts you've been getting that you've been thinking are trash, if you have Zhongli, you might want to put them on him. Because of course, this increases the strength of his shield, increases normal attack damage, elemental skill damage, and elemental burst damage majorly. So it's definitely worth it to have all HP percent. And for the substats, you want either HP percent, HP, and then crit damage and crit rate, and then lastly energy recharge. I put energy recharge at the bottom because his burst is only 40 energy cost, so you don't really need that much energy recharge. You do extremely need as much HP as you can get, and then crit rate and crit damage is also just nice for your elemental burst. So just to recap, you can either want a 2-piece of Noblesse, Millilith, or Archaic Petra, and you can win the 4-piece Noblesse or the 4-piece Millilith. Yeah, that's pretty much all for the artifacts of Zhongli. Now time for Zhongli's weapons. If you want an extremely free-to-play weapon for Zhongli, the best 3-star polearm is going to be the Black Tassel. The passive of it isn't really that useful, you're not going to pay attention to that, but the substat of the Black Tassel is actually HP percent. I've seen a few people run this on the in-game Zhongli's just to increase his HP by even more than it already is, so if you want an extremely free-to-play option, this is a great one to choose. Another one is the Prototype Star Glitter. The passive once again doesn't really matter, but its substat is energy recharge, so if you do want some more energy recharge on your Zhongli, this is also a great polearm to grab. A great 4-star weapon that you can choose is the Favonius Lance, which its passive is actually pretty good for him. Crit hits have a chance to give you 6 energy, and the substat on the weapon is energy recharge. So this is a great weapon that you can use. As you can see, I use this weapon. Now for the 5-star staffs, probably all of these staffs would probably be a pretty good option, but definitely Staff of Homa because it increases his HP by a lot and gives him a crit damage substat. So if you have any of these 5-star polearms, it's probably better than any 4-star. Yeah, that's basically all for the weapons. Either get the Black Tassel, Prototype Star Glitter for free to play. For gacha, Favonius Lance is always a good option. And for the 5 stars, basically any single 5-star would be better. Now the teams for Zhongli. For Zhongli, you can basically put him in any single team. Literally every single team in the game that you put him in, he'll do excellent, he'll do great, it wouldn't matter. He's just gonna shield you a whole lot and keep you alive. But probably the most notable combos of Zhongli are Zhongli Albedo, and my favorite, Zhongli and Ningguang. Your Zhongli Ningguang combo is just absolutely insane. You have your Ningguang as main DPS doing a lot of geo damage, and Ningguang is extremely squishy. And Zhongli makes it not squishy. Very simple. If you pair each other up with Zhongli Albedo, you'll pop the Geo Resonance, it'll be pretty alright for a lot of support Geo damage. And if you put a Ningguang in Zhongli, you have a giant main damage dealer, a great shielder, and the Geo Resonance as well. But for any other team in the game, just put him in there and he'll do amazing. It doesn't really matter what you put him with. So yeah, that's basically all for today's guide. I hope you enjoyed. It's really easy to build a Zhongli. You just really need some energy recharge, a lot of HP, and then build in some crit damage and crit rate after. He can probably make you super invincible, which means I probably suck a lot because I still die when I have him on my team. But anyway, thank you guys for watching the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope I helped you know what weapons, artifacts, and teams, and quotes teams to put them on. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye bye.